But for this current moment in time, we're going to be booting up this tier list, which is why I got my my little windows here, my window here. So hopefully y'all ready for this. But I decided since I finished the game, oh, this is really damn, I forgot. Reset. Since I finished the game, I wanted to come in and do a tier list of the bosses of like, this is my personal opinion. I just want to hold on, let me start over because this is I think I'm gonna put this on YouTube. There's nothing, I will put this on YouTube. So before that, we're gonna cut all this out. Anyway, all right. What's good? So what's good, y'all? We back with another video. We're gonna be talking about the bosses from the first Berserker of Khazan. I recently finished that game, so I wanted to go over a tier list and kind of just like go through like my personal thoughts about the bosses that I encountered. This is going to be specific for the main bosses in the game because that's what I have recorded anyway. I did go through some of the side missions, but I don't have that on stream because I was trying to get through the game because I kind of finished it late because I took a vacation in April, so I was out for 2 weeks and then I came back and I'm trying to catch up. So I'm like trying to play all these games. Some of this shit's coming out. There's too much games coming out, to be honest, which is kind of, it's not a problem. It's a great thing to have because, man, gaming is popping right now. And for those people who say gaming's dead, y'all need to try new shit. Stop playing Call of Duty because there's more to life than just one fucking game. Anyway, so we're gonna be getting on it. We got the boss. We got the tier list here. We got all the bosses. I didn't make this. Somebody else did. I don't know who, but maybe JJ. Shout out to this person who made this tier list. Appreciate you so much. I'm going to use it for my own purposes. And again, this is going to be my benefit or not my benefit, my opinion, in my opinion only. So if you don't like it, you don't like it. I personally don't give a fuck. This is just what my experience went through and playing the game. And I have all their names over here just in case I forgot, which I most definitely did. And there's one boss I completely forgot. I thought I had to like look up my stream to like find him. So I can be like, oh yeah, I did fight and beat him because I completely forgot about him. Anyways, let's get into it. So the first boss we got here is this frost giant thing. What's his name? Frost giant. It was the very first boss you come in. It was honestly not a bad boss. I fought this boss when I played the demo, so I do not have this on stream. I don't have it recorded because it was before I started streaming and stuff. But I played this back in like January, I want to say. And like this was a good boss fight. It wasn't challenging. Or it was challenging, but it wasn't too challenging, if that makes sense. Like you figure out its moveset and like you kind of get a basic understanding of like the parry system, how the game works, and you're kind of like, okay, this is how the game kind of works, and this is kind of like the feel for it. So like I would give this boss like as an intro boss, I would give it B. I would say it's a good, solid medium way. It's not too hard, it's not too difficult, it's not anything like crazy spectacular, but it's not anything shitty either. But it was a solid first boss. It was a great introduction to the game, and it honestly got me kind of hooked on it because it took me a minute to beat him. So moving on next. Anyways, so the next boss is the Phantom Blade. This boss, you fight twice because you fight him in the demo, and then you have to fight him again when the actual game came out. When I fought him in the demo, it took me about 2 hours to beat him, and then when I fought him again after the game came out, it took me another 2 hours to fight him. He wasn't necessarily hard. He was just kind of annoying, but not in a bad way, if that makes any sense. Probably not. So because of that, I'm probably going to throw him in a B tier too, where he wasn't anything too spectacular. He had some good move sets. He really like introduced some of new mechanics into the game. Couldn't tell you what they were as far as like, you know, how you fought him because he was different from the first boss. He was a little bit more challenging, kind of more annoying. But overall, this wasn't a bad boss. I did enjoy this fight. It was the perfect level of challenge. You could be like, all right, are you really ready to play this game kind of boss? Like it was your first real boss fight, your first skill check, I guess you could say. Next is this fucking lizard cunt, Viper. I do remember Viper because he pissed me off. This is the best way to say. I was stuck on him for a good minute because I physically couldn't wrap my brain around how how quick his attacks work. And I kind of like appreciate this game for that because later on there are some more bosses where like they're really like throwing attacks at you. So it's like really like forcing you to play in the pocket. And like one thing I do like about my playthrough in this is I didn't use any summons. I tried not to use any summons. And there's no tried. I didn't use any summons for any of the boss fights. So like I really sat in the pocket to really learn this shit. And I was like, you know, I've played some other Souls-like games in the past. I played Lies of Peace. I played Elden Ring, and I'm admit it. I use summons. I'm a bitch. I'll fucking say it. I didn't want to fuck with it. But like having that challenge upon myself, like it really like had me. Like I had to hold myself accountable and like really lock in on like, all right, what am I doing wrong? I'm pushing the button too many times. I'm being too quick about how I'm approaching this boss fight. I'm just, just being stupid or like just doing something here and there and wrong. And I had to really like think about like, what am I doing? And like really look at myself and be like, if I want to beat this, I have to like overcome my own like struggles of like, or myself from getting in the way. So it's like, I really appreciated that about this game because it forced me to get over my own bullshit and just like really dig in. Like no matter how long it takes, you're gonna beat it, and I beat it, and I'm proud of that. Actually, no, I take that back. The first game that really put me in that position was Stellar Blade. I forgot because that game's a sleeper. I feel like people like don't really talk about that game a whole lot because it came out last year. I want to say, yeah. Hold on, let's pull it up. We got to get it right here. Stellar Blade PS5. When did this come out? Oh yeah, 2004. Yeah, so it came out sometime last year. Let's see. PS5. There we go. April 26th. Okay, yeah, so yeah, it's been a year. Oh damn, just over. Yeah, this game came out last year and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was I really enjoyed the combat system of it, not just the character model like a lot of people. I mean, look at this. Look at this character. They knew what they were doing. These developers knew exactly what they're doing when they created this character. Anyways, we're sidetracked. But yeah, back to Viper. Oh yeah, no. Back to what I was saying. So yeah, no, I really did think that like Stellar Blade was a game that I really had to like learn in the pocket and like was a situation where like, all right, I'm pushing the button too many times. I'm dodging too many times. I'm not watching my stamina bar. I'm not doing something. And that's causing me to lose this fight over and over again. So then I really had to like look at it and be like, all right, what am I doing wrong to like, how can I overcome this? And how can I be better? So like, I just really had to like take a step back and be like, shit, calm down, slow down, and just learn the flow of the fight. Learn the flow of the fight. And that was the greatest thing that these two games have taught me. I have a new appreciation for Souls-like games, and maybe in the recent future, I might do a playthrough on stream of Elden Ring. I've already beaten that game. I've platinumed it on PlayStation, to be honest, but I do love that game, and maybe I'll play it again on stream, or maybe I'll do Dark Souls 3 because I also really love that game and I have beaten the shit out of that one too. But maybe I'll do a new one. Maybe that's what I'll do. Why play a game I've already beaten? Let's do Dark Souls 1. I haven't beaten that one, so that's a good one. Maybe I'll do that. I'll have to buy it though. But for now, we're playing fucking Clairvoyance. This will be after Clairvoyance. Anyways, next boss, the Viper. I'm gonna put him in. I'll put him in as the A tier. Yeah, I'll put him A tier. He was a good boss because he also had 2 phases. How could I forget that? How could I forget that? Like, oh man, when I finally overcome the first phase of the fight, I thought I was over and I thought I had it. But then he was like, nope, this shit ain't over. So you getting back into it. So I was like, damn. Just damn. All right. Next. He was I can't pronounce this, but Vloblano. Vloblano. We're gonna call you that. He was that guy who had the hammer and nail kind of thing. Yeah, he wasn't too bad to fight. Like once I figured him out, it was just a matter of like executing and like figuring out how to execute because I knew all of his movesets. I knew how he worked. He like had that one move where he like teleported or like not teleported, but like took out the whole section so he had to drop down and like that like threw me off for a minute. But I was like, once I figured that out, he wasn't too bad. Overall, I'd probably give this boss, like, I don't really have anything memorable about it. It was just like, annoying. It took me like an hour, maybe an hour and a half to beat. I don't remember. I got the VOD on YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, I got a whole playlist for all the entire gameplay of this game on the channel. So if you want to check that out, feel free. It's just a live stream, so they're like 3-4 hours, however long I was streaming for that particular round, but they're all in order chronologically from how I beat the game. So if you're curious about that, check it out. Here's the links. Here's the links if you didn't already have them. This boss, I would probably give him. I'll give him a C. Like he wasn't anything like that good. He was just kind of there. This spider. The spider was annoying. It wasn't necessarily hard, wasn't necessarily easy. He was just kind of there, kind of similar to the last boss. So I'm just gonna throw him into the same category and just not really like spend too much time about it or spend too much time talking about him. So next up we got Rongus. Rongus was kind of a bitch, and I say that not because he was easy to fight, just because he's a bitch. He's the first like real range fighter that you have to fight, which is a little annoying because he just wants to run away from you when you're trying to get into him. Kind of like playing Elden Ring Night Rain. One of your teammates is just getting attacked and you're just chasing the boss down, trying to get a hit in. But yeah, he wasn't necessarily bad to fight. I think it took me like an hour or two or something like that. I don't know. Again, I got to find on the YouTube channel. I'll put him in a B tier. I wasn't like particularly like, I don't know. I don't even know. I don't have the words to say it, and that's why he's just mid for me. He's just a mid boss. Who we got next? Malika. Okay, this was like Malika was another skill check because of the second half of the fight when he pulls out his katana and he gets that like crazy fast speed. That was a skill check in itself because like it took me a minute to learn that and to figure that out. But once I learned it, I fucked him up a lot because I farmed him for I did a lot of my farming off stream, but I farmed him and I really enjoyed him. Like looking back at it, I really enjoyed this boss fight. It's like the perfect level of like difficult and like it's just the perfect level of difficult, and it's a good balance to where you really get a feel of like, man, this game is nice. And the flow of the fight, and if you master this game's mechanics, it is really, really something. So, I'm going to put this guy up in S tier because this is good. This tier list is based off my enjoyment, not necessarily how each character ranks and like overall game mechanics, because I don't know a whole lot of that. This is just like from my personal experience fighting each one of these cunts. Speaking of Element or whatever, that lady who gets corrupted, I feel bad for her. Because she was our homie for a while, and then she gets corrupted by the Chaos Emeralds, and then she like, I'ma kill you. And I'm like, nah, you ain't gotta kill me, shit. I just broke unrelated note, but I just broke a little Gundam spirit thing because I was fidgeting with it. Oh, whoops. Oh well, I can fix it. I have plenty of nubs or whatever from my other Gundams, so I can use cement that I recently got and just kind of piecemeal that shit back together, use some sandpaper to make it look nice. Problem solved. And I can even paint it to be like, yeah, you can't even tell it was split into two. Anyways, she was annoying. This fucking lady with her stupid shield where she would like throw you over the shield and stab you. She hit me with that shit so many times at the start of the fight because I didn't know how it triggered and I didn't know like the mechanics of it, and man, it pissed me off. I did not like it. But overall, like the fight, it was memorable, but it was just on very like, I need to like learn her timing because she was hyper aggressive. She was one of the very hyper aggressive bosses where she just like come up for your neck constantly, and then she had a lot of attacks where it just kind of like came out of nowhere. It felt like I'm talking about like that one where she would charge her blade or whatever, like up, do like a big slash and then a down slash. But like once you figure out how to dodge it or like parry it, I don't know if you can parry it. I dodged it, but once you figure out how to counter it, you can dog walk her. I'll put her in A tier for that, where she was a bit more memorable as than a mid tier boss, but she wasn't like completely forgettable. Like not completely forgettable. I do remember these two fights. I'd say no, the spider is more forgettable than that lady, or than that thing. But no. Who we got here? Who's this guy? Oh, this is that one beast thing. So this is the boss I completely forgot I fought. I had no idea I fought him. I was like, when I was looking at like preparing for the stream today, I was like looking around like, who is this guy? And I looked at his name. I'm like, I still don't know who you are. So I had to like go and find the VOD where I fought him. And I was like, oh, you're like a beast. It took me like 45 minutes, if even that, to beat and figure out. Like it was dumb. But I'll put him as C tier, and there's a very specific reason why I'm putting him as C tier. And his next boss is the perfect segue to that. So first of all, I want to describe, like as I mentioned earlier, this is not my tier list. If this was my tier list, there would be a category worse than D. It would be like below of the bottom of like go fuck yourself. Like the worst rating you could ever think possible. And that's where this jellyfish bitch goes. And that's what I call her, but her name is Toraka or whatever. Toraka. I fucking hate this lady. I fucking hate this lady. She can go fuck herself. And I hate her. Stupid little jellyfish, stupid little fucking AoE, stupid magic attacks. I hated everything about this fight. Everything about this fight just pissed me off because she constantly runs away from you. She constantly spams spells at you. So you're constantly chasing her down. You always have to watch your stamina. If you fuck up once, she's just going to clap you. Some of her moves, I feel like, get positive iframes where you can't even dodge them even if you try. Or at least maybe I'm shit at fighting her. Probably. I fucking hate her. I was so relieved when I beat her because I was like, I am never fighting you again because I'm not playing the game again and I'm not running it back to farm any of your ingredients. I don't give a shit if it was the best fucking gear in the game. I didn't use it. I hate this fucking boss. She is dog shit. The only one worse was this fucking lady right here, the next boss. She wasn't necessarily worse, but she was almost equally as annoying because of all the fucking magic bullshit that they want to throw at you, the ballerina. But because I have a hatred for this lady, Ballerina's gonna go in C tier, and this is going to be the only one I say is D tier because I fucking hate this boss. Absolutely hate it. This next one is the coffin guy, Scapulol. Again, not pronouncing these names right. This guy wasn't bad. He was like, when I first fought him, I thought he was way too easy. And I was like, this is too easy. I even said it in my in the stream, and turns out it was because it was too easy. There was a second phase, but once I figured that out, it was a pretty decent fight. And because of that, I'm gonna throw him B tier. He wasn't bad. So then we have Princess Inala or whatever. I did like this princess. I did like fighting this princess. Like, she was quick, she was aggressive, she was a good balance between magic and physical damage, and because of that, is the only reason why I really fucked with her as far as like fighting boss goes, because she didn't solely just use magic. She was like also trying to find me in the pocket, and her magic was relatively easy to dodge once you figured it out. So I'm gonna throw her up in A tier because she was a good fight. And we got Hismar, the dragon. I did farm this dragon. I did enjoy fighting this dragon. He was just a big ass bitch where you just have to fight his stamina and get the criticals on him. His moveset is super easy to learn. He does like 6 moves. No, maybe 7. He does the same moves over and over again. They're very predictable and they're very easy to parry. Well, again, once you learn them at first, it can kind of throw you off. It threw me off for a while. But once I learned it, man, I learned it. I went through this boss so many times. There were times because I wanted its gear specifically because I really liked the loadout and like the shredder and stuff or whatever it's called, the skin ripper. I don't remember what the sword was called, but it was I wanted it, and I farmed for it, and I beat the shit out of this dragon. It wish it would have stayed extinct after I was done fighting it, because man, I went to town. And because of that, I'm gonna put him up in A tier, because again, I really enjoyed fighting this dragon, but not the same level as Malika. Malika is up at S tier because there was just like a lot of finesse went into his moveset and his work. And like even when I was running back and fighting Malika, he even busted out new moves on me that I've never seen before, and it threw me off. I was like, damn, I see you. I see you. That's honestly not bad. Reese, this fucking lady. She's a bitch. Not as big as a bitch as the jellyfish lady, though. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I didn't hate fighting her, but she was annoying because again, she was just a magic user. She'd get that stupid bubble Wait, no, that was the other lady. That was the ballerina or whatever, the dark elf. She would get the bubble that would protect her. That shit was annoying. This lady she was annoying because she had two faces, if I recall. Yeah, she had two faces. She had a lot of magic power that really it really took me a minute to wrap my brain around to trying to figure out how to block it perfectly and counteract it so I wouldn't lose and die to her. I'm gonna put her up in put her up in A tier. It was a good fight. It's memorable, but her magic was fucking annoying. And because of that one point, it's gonna go down. And then we have last but not least Osmond or whatever, his bitch ass. I'm gonna put him up in S. I'm gonna explain why. It was a good fight. He was annoying as fuck. It took me 4 hours to beat him. It literally was my entire stream when I did fight him. Which I thought was good. It was a good struggle fest. There were points where I was like, man, I don't know if I'm going to get through this. It really had me questioning, how did I get this far in the game? Why am I still playing this? Yeah, I'm just suffering. But once I figured out his movesets, it was a perfect balance of everything you've learned so far led you to this point kind of thing. And it's just a matter of learning his moveset, putting what you learned together and figuring out how to fuck this man up. And once I figured that out, man, it was satisfying. And beating this game was very satisfying. And I know that he is a 3-phase boss because I've seen TikToks of it. And I'm pretty sure the only way to get to that is to play the whole game again. I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to do it. So at least not right now. Maybe I'll do it off stream and then record when I get to Osmond again and fight it then. But for right now, I have zero intention of doing that because there's other things I want to play. But for now, I won't get the true ending. But because I just say that now, it makes me want to kind of get the true ending. So we might be reinstalling that game just for that sole purpose of fighting him in that 3rd phase, because it seems like it's going to be a whole nother piece of work. But yeah, this is my tier list for the first Berserker of Khazan, all the main bosses. This is strictly my opinion. If you don't agree, like I said earlier, go fuck yourself because I don't care. This is my opinion based on my playthrough of the game, and yeah, everyone has their own opinion, so don't get hung up on mine. Just because I say one thing doesn't mean anything. I'm literally talking to myself. So you're all good, player, either way.